All right. So we had a major attack in New Orleans today. Major terror attack in New Orleans, and it's just crazy, man. But it's just crazy the world that we're living in. Whatever you do, you have to be aware of your surroundings. Okay? Be very skeptical of people. Don't be you know, like if you see somebody walking around, like walking up in your area that you're in or wherever you're at, when you're out in public, the first thing should come to your mind, you should look at that person like, what the heck is this guy doing? What is this woman doing? What are they up to? That should be the first thing come to your mind. What is this person up to? It's a shame that you have to assume that about people, but it's better to think like that, be on the defense, be watching out for people, because this guy that they pulled this stuff off with the truck. I mean, he didn't act alone. So you got a group of weirdos doing crazy stuff like this. I mean, hopefully you can spot them out before they make their move. But you gotta be alert. You gotta be paying attention. You can't be intoxicated. You know. And honestly, though, I mean, that French Quarter it has been a disaster waiting to happen. I mean, we're really lucky nothing like this has happened before, really, in that French Quarter, because it's just wide open, no protection. I mean, what's stopping people from walking in that French Quarter armed and ready to do something? I mean, it's really scary when you think about it. When I think about all the time I went to New Orleans, like throughout the years living in the South, I didn't realize how much danger I was in. You know, when you look at situations like this, I mean, this could have happened many times I went to New Orleans back in the day. But anyway, though, my friend John Kennedy. Let's check out my friend John Kennedy. Well, one of my favorite politicians to watch and listen to, I'll say that much. Let's hear him. I'm sure he's going to be in a somber, melancholy mood. But let's hear what John Kennedy had to say. The U.S. Senator for Louisiana, John Kennedy.
Joining us now from New Orleans is Republican Louisiana Senator John Kennedy. Senator, thank you very much for taking some time out for us. We know that you're very busy talking with law enforcement on the ground. There are a lot of folks in this country tonight that are afraid of what's happening in New Orleans. And I know that you're trying to get answers tonight as police search for other potential suspects, possible co-conspirators tonight. By all accounts, with this new surveillance video we have now, with what we're learning from police, this sounds to be some sort of sleeper cell, a terrorist cell on U.S. soil. Is that what you're hearing?
That's what it sounds like.
Well, there's a fine line between anger and grief, and I'm pretty much straddling that line right now. If you don't believe in objective evil, all you need to do is go walk about 30 or 40 yards that way.
Yeah.
I'm here for two reasons. Number one, these are my people, and these are my people's guests. Number two, I don't want to hear from anybody in the federal government that they don't have the resources. Now, the White House, the FBI, Justice, Homeland Security are in charge now. We're cooperating with them. I want to give them a reasonable period of time. There's a lot of information out there. Some of it is actually true. I want to give them a reasonable period of time, but they need to saddle up and ride. We need to find out what happened here, and it's not going to be covered up. We're going to tell the American people exactly what happened, and that's why I'm down here.
Yeah.
We know a lot more than what's being reported, Aisha, but they are in the middle of an active investigation, and I don't want to do anything to screw it up.
Okay.
But I'm also not going to let them take the pressure off.
Okay, got it.
You say a lot about John Kennedy. One thing is he's a straight shooter. Okay, he gonna get down to brass tacks, and he gonna tell it like it is. And that's what I like about him. You see, and some people probably say, "Oh, John Kennedy, he's a Republican. He's a racist or whatever like that." Maybe he might be, but I tell you what, I respect the fact that he flat out tell you straight to your face. He flat out tell it like it is. He ain't gonna get in my face and smile and pretend to be my friend like a lot of the liberals do, and then stab me in the back. He gonna flat out tell you right there and there how he feel. You know, and I think in this society that we live in the United States of America, a country that's known for oppressing black Americans, I think when you get a straight shooter and a person be straight up with you, no matter if they are racist or whatever, I think that's the best you can get. I think you can't ask for nothing better. At least for, be a straight shooter and tell it like it is. I can respect that.
Senator, you did promise transparency earlier in the press conference that you took part in this afternoon. Are you getting the sense that the FBI had been tracking this suspect, or are you getting the sense that they perhaps somehow missed this?
I can't answer that. I can't answer that, but I shouldn't. I'm gonna say it again, Aisha. We're giving the FBI and Homeland Security a reasonable amount of time to do their job, and by God, they're going to do their job, and they're going to catch these people.
Is the
we're
FBI
going to know a whole lot more in the next 4 to 8 hours.
Senator, is the
Keep in mind, he said these people, so he's letting you know that they didn't act alone.
FBI being transparent with you?
You never know. You just never know what they're not telling us. But I know how to probe pretty hard and get the information. I'm not interested in placing blame or saying who was right or wrong. I just want to catch these sons of bitches who did this.
Yeah. There is an active manhunt.
What politician talks like that? He sound like these SOBs. He sound like I swear to you, man, he sound like somebody back in the country somewhere. You hear at the damn truck stop at the one little gas station that they got in the county that everybody come to. He sound like one of them son of a guns out there. They getting ready to go on a hunting trip, and they stop by the gas station, give him some chewing tobacco. Yeah, he sound like that. Did he chew tobacco? I bet John Kennedy chew tobacco.
It sounds like right now for some of these, we don't know how many. We were told a range of suspects, perhaps 3 or 4. We know there's surveillance video out there showing some of these folks laying down IEDs around the French.
They think they're 3, maybe 4.
Okay.
I was disappointed early this morning. Someone with the FBI said very confidently, "There's no chance this is a terrorist attack." Well, they've taken that back, thank God. They were a little quick on the trigger. But we think now that there were probably 4, maybe 5 people involved.
Yeah. So let's be realistic here. Just you're a straight shooter. So shoot straight with the people of New Orleans and Louisiana right now. Governor Landry says that there will be a Sugar Bowl tomorrow afternoon, that he'll be there and it will be safe. Is that realistic right now, given the circumstances?
Okay, the governor. It's funny that she brought the governor up. Let me tell you something. If you haven't watched, it's a press conference. All the major news people, they ought to have it on their YouTube. ABC, Fox. I know Fox has it. I saw it. ABC, Fox, NBC, CBS. It's a major press conference they call like this after New Year's Day afternoon, man. I think it might have been around 1 or 2 o'clock Central Time for sure. Go back and watch that first press conference if you had. It's the mayor of New Orleans. It's the chief of police of New Orleans. It's the governor of Louisiana. John Kennedy spoke there. And I think a state representative too spoke as well. But she brought up the governor, bro. The governor, let me tell you something. If one thing I can tell you about Louisiana, I grew up in Mississippi, And now I've been here in Texas, but I've lived all my life in states that are right next to Louisiana. The only thing about Louisiana I can tell you, they got a problem with their government doing their job. Okay? They have a problem with their government officials doing the bare just doing the basics of their job. Not even just doing a great job, but just doing the bare minimum that you would need a government official to do. And I say that because I think about the governors they've had, and I can't remember. I've been paying attention to the mayor of New Orleans since Katrina, since Hurricane Katrina. I think they had Ray Nagin. I haven't ever seen a good, decent politician as the mayor of New Orleans. They've never had a good mayor, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, every other mayor they have is in trouble for corruption. And it showed today. It really showed how this incident, they really weren't prepared for this incident. But one of the major things was the doggone mayor. You know, he got that Creole, that Bayou accent. And the doggone mayor, he just basically got up there, and every decent question that the media asked, that doggone, not mayor, but the governor, the mayor, you know, she looked like the bailiff from that show called Night Court. It's a show from the 80s, early 90s called Night Court. It was a black lady that was a famous comedian, and she played the bailiff. The mayor looked like her. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. But the mayor just jumped up there, and the questions wasn't even directed to him half of the time. He jumped in there and just tried to filibuster the answer. Like he just tried to dodge the questions. And I give a good example. For instance, somebody asked this was a question toward the mayor and the police chief. And they were asking about, how can that guy just drive right up onto the street that's supposed to be blocked off? There wasn't no concrete structures or nothing up there to block it, and they were like, so I think they call them bullards or whatever they call them, the concrete structures. And this person asked chief of police, mayor, why was there not any blockades or anything up there? And then the governor come in, I'll take that. Yes. Just one moment there. Before you answer that question, Mayor and Chief, let me just say, what we got, whatever the problem is, we're going to handle that problem, and it will be handled efficiently and as soon as possible. But tomorrow, we got a Sugar Bowl coming tomorrow, and we want to be prepared for the Sugar Bowl, and it's going to be a safe venue, and I want everybody to know, all our sponsors, and everybody to know that everything's going to be all right. Okay? And then any question, just go back and watch it. You'll see, man. He got that Bayou accent, and he just gets in there, and he just basically just filibusters all the way around. Governor, how you know it's gonna be a safe venue tomorrow at the Sugar Bowl? Why? Because I'm gonna be there. I mean, the way he talk just like what's that doggone swamp? What's that swamp show on the History Channel where they catching the alligators? I think they call them Swamp something. He talk like one of them guys down in the bayou.
We decided to postpone it by 24 hours, one day. The governor made that decision. He's doing a great job. He's in charge here at the state level. And I want to be fair to our federal officials and give them a chance. But, I sat there and watched a 21-year-old kid outsmart the entire Secret Service of the United States and almost kill a former president and soon to be current president.
Right.
And we still don't have information. And that's not going to happen this time. By God, it's not going to happen this time. I will chase these people like they stole my dog until we find out what went on here. But I want to be fair and work with them, and let's give them a chance to catch these guys or gals. One may have been a woman.
Is New Orleans safe tonight?
Yes, but we're still in the process.
That pause said a lot. That pause told me everything I need. No, it's not safe. And that's why you have to take your own safety into your own hands. You can't depend on the government to take care of you, okay? The government will fail you, okay? So you got to take your own safety in your own hands. You got to be alert. That Walgreens, I remember that Walgreens. I mean, anybody been in New Orleans know where that's at. But that Walgreens right there, like, we all know about that. Like, it's really hard to see this happening in somewhere, you know, that we've... us people from the South, you know, we visited New Orleans so many times. Us people in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, you know, like, we been to New Orleans countless times. But their government, they got to get it together. Their government officials, they got to get it together and do their jobs. You go back and watch that press conference I'm talking about, bro. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's a bunch of filibustering. They don't know what's going on. Especially now, the New Orleans PD, you know, they got a bad reputation going back to Katrina. You know, the mayor's office with Ray Nagin and them. I haven't seen a good mayor in New Orleans. Since I've never seen one. Going back to Katrina is when I've been paying attention to the politicians in New Orleans, and I've never seen any good politician, any good government officials, elected officials in the city of New Orleans. To be honest, it makes you wonder, like, all these years we've been having these major Super Bowls and major games and major events and Mardi Gras. And it's a wonder that no tragedy like this, thank God no tragedy like this hasn't happened, you know, more often. You know, we really been on borrowed time as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they got to step it up down there. They got to get some barriers and stuff. Ain't no freaking way a vehicle should be able to get up there into that French Quarter like that. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Of tightening up security.
Yeah.
We're still in the process of doing everything that we possibly can. The governor's called out the National Guard. We've got more FBI coming. We've got Homeland Security people. We've got state troopers who've done an awesome job. We've got the NOPD. We're doing everything we can. But like I say, there's a lot of information out there. Some of it's accurate.
Okay. Well, we hope that you will continue to keep us apprised of what you learn there on the ground, and we appreciate you taking some time for us tonight, Senator John Kennedy.
I'm just so sorry. I'm just so sorry to all those folks who lost loved ones and have loved ones in the hospital. I'm sorry, but by God, we're gonna get this straight. We're gonna chase these guys down.
Okay.
I hope
Senator
so.
John Kennedy of Louisiana, thank you very much for joining.
I surely hope so. But
safe tonight.
Yes, but we're still in the process of tightening up security. We're still in the process of doing everything that we possibly can. The governor's called out the National Guard. We've got more FBI coming. We've got Homeland Security people. We've got state troopers who've done an awesome job. We've got the NOPD. We're doing everything we can. But like I say, there's a lot of information. the hospital. I'm sorry, but by God, we're gonna get this straight. We're gonna chase these guys down.
Okay. Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana.
And another thing that struck me with the with that mayor, with the governor, he said something about we're gonna get us a privatized military group to come down here and patrol. And I was like, what? A privatized military group to come? When they start doing that? So, who is that, and when did they start getting a privatized military? Now, so the reporter, a good reporter, asked them, "What do you mean by that? Who are these? Who are you getting? You getting Blackwater or somebody to come down here? Who are you getting?" And then he tried to back off, and he tried to cover up what he said and tried to be like, "Oh no, these are National Guard. Yeah, our privatized military are the national." He tried to play it off like he was talking about the National Guard or something. No, he wasn't talking about the National Guard. If he was talking about National Guard, then he would have said National Guard. But no, he said privatized. I think it slipped. He didn't mean to say that in front of the media like that. He said a privatized military group. So I'm like, what is this? Some type of Louisiana militia group he getting to do or what? And I see when they say stuff like that, my antennas come up when they say stuff like that, because during Katrina and stuff, they had all them different militia groups and stuff down in Katrina, and there's a lot of black people. They were the targets. There was a lot of black people that came up missing. Let me tell you something. All those black people that came up, that they never could find their body and came up missing, it wasn't because of Hurricane Katrina. No. It wasn't because of Hurricane Katrina. A lot of those people came up missing because of the militia groups and these different white supremacist type groups that use that as an excuse to shoot innocent people. Okay? Innocent black people. So my antenna came on when you talking about some privatized group or whatever. You got to be careful of stuff like that. These are just times that, hey, no matter who you are or whatever, you better not be dependent on no government to protect you. You better be able to protect yourself, especially living in the South. There's no excuse why you can't. If you live in the South, there's no excuse why you can't protect yourself unless you're a felon or something like that. But be real careful. And I'm gonna be watching out what type of private military groups is he talking about?